And it's going to be Brazil who will get us underway in their very familiar strip. Yellow shirts, blue shorts, and they're going to be kicking, initially at least, from right to left on your screens. 3 periods, each of 12 minutes. And if we're still level at the end of that, we go to 3 minutes of extra time. If we're still level at the end of that, it's penalties. And the overhead coming in straight away from number 11 for Brazil, Mauricinho. 12 goals for him in the history of this competition. Datina, excitement machine he is, number 10. Oh, and here's an opportunity, and it's over the top from Mauricinho. What a chance that was. 8 goals for him in the FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup finals earlier this year, and an opportunity there to open his account, which he didn't take advantage of. Brazil, 12 months ago in this tournament, when it took place at the Dubai International Marine Club, which was its home for 4 years. 39 goals they scored, and they conceded only 9. Both records, those, for most goals scored and fewest goals conceded in an edition of this Intercontinental Cup. Hassan Mohamed. Shot drilled in, oh, it's in, yes! El Hosseini has scored. And Egypt take the lead. That's a great strike. He kept it low. That's what you do in beach soccer. You keep your shots low. And Mao then at the mercy of the bobble of the ball. And that ball bobbled awkwardly. The goalkeeper got his body behind it, or he thought he did. But it bobbled, hit Mao, and ended up in the back of the net. El Hosseini scores. The 22-year-old only made his debut for Egypt earlier this year, inside the first minute, and Egypt hit the front. What a terrific start for them. Equally tough opening 12 months ago in this tournament when they played Russia, who were then the defending champions, and lost 10-6. But they certainly did themselves credit on that occasion. It's a tough assignment, this, against a Brazil side that are 42 games unbeaten, but well, Egypt all of a sudden almost had a second. Mustafa Ali was through on goal, and it required all of Mao's skills to push that one behind for a corner. Great start this for Egypt. Corner taken and rather wasted. Ball has to be got back in play within 4 seconds. Taken on the chest, and the overhead from El Hosseini, the goal scorer. Well, he's chock full of confidence, as you would expect, having hit the back of the net already. Bruno Xavier, twice a top scorer in an edition of this tournament. Drilled shot coming in from Antonio. One of the youngest players in this squad. In fact, he is the youngest at 22. Bruno Xavier again. It's a good tackle, very good tackle indeed by Mustafa Ahmed, one of the most experienced players in this squad. He'll be celebrating his 30th birthday tomorrow. Wouldn't he love it if he got an early present with a win against the world champions? There he is with a clearing header. Here's an opportunity to burst forward. Mohamed Gamal was the tournament top scorer 2 years ago with 9 goals. He's been out for 10 months with a very serious knee injury, but he's fit again now. Felipe, picked up now by Rodrigo. Shot coming in, blocked by his own man in the end, Bokina, who retrieves possession. Good clearance in the end by Ahmed Al Shahat. Jinking run by Lucas. Attempted shot by Rodrigo. Blocked by El Shahat. Brazil arrived here on Friday with that 42-game unbeaten streak. Oh, and a flying effort from Rodrigo. The squad had a 10-day training camp in Recife. That's about 2,000 kilometres north of Rio de Janeiro before departure. And prior to that camp, they'd played in the Liga Sudamericana, first edition of a continent-wide league. It's been divided into two zones, the North Zone, which Brazil played in. The tournament took place in Peru. They play them up against Colombia, Peru, Ecuador and Venezuela. And their senior team and the under-20s both went unbeaten. In the South Zone, it was Argentina, Chile, Paraguay, Bolivia and Uruguay. And Paraguay, who we'll see later on today, they were in action and they were the winners, again at senior and under-20 level. Throw-in conceded by Mohamed Abdel Nabi. Felipe, policed by Haitham Mohamed. We seem to almost have an extra player on the sand, Brazil, don't they? The overhead, and it's blocked. It's the back of the head, in fact, of Hassan Mohamed, who's gone down. No chances taken with a blow to the back of the head by the officials. It's a good block, that, because that was heading in. I'm absolutely sure of it. Ice pack applied to the back of Hassan Mohamed's head, 27-year-old. 4 goals in this tournament, the Intercontinental Cup, 12 months ago. I have mixed memories of this tournament, in fact, because he was sent off against Iran. He's going to go for a sit down now. If a player receives treatment on the sand, he has to go off. It's one of the ways of trying to stop simulation. Be a drop ball now. And very sportingly, Egypt, in the shape of El Hosseini, give the ball back to Brazil. Just over 5 minutes gone in this first period, 3 periods each of 12 minutes. I mentioned that Brazil had arrived here on Friday. Egypt arrived on Sunday. Prior to the Intercontinental Cup, they played 3 friendlies in Morocco on the 19th, 20th and 21st of October. Back passes incidentally allowed in beach soccer, just in case you were wondering there. Goalkeeper is allowed to pick up a back pass, but isn't allowed to pick it up a second time unless a member of the opposition then touches the ball beforehand. Oh, the ball getting stuck in the sand, and here's an opportunity for Brazil. Oh, lovely skill from Bokina, but in the end he's crowded out, can't quite fashion the chance, driven a little bit wide. Those 3 friendlies for Egypt. 4-4 against Morocco, when they won 1-0 and lost 6-4. This match is taking place in Morocco. The Egyptian squad had a 4-day training camp as well in Cairo ahead of those Morocco friendlies. And the plan is to start a domestic beach soccer league in the country within the next 12 months. Beach soccer is certainly a growing sport. It's growing very quickly. Mexico played a tournament on home sand last week, and it featured the first matches for the Mexican women's beach soccer team as well. Played a couple of games against the Spanish equivalent. Now Abdelaziz Saba's gone down, clutching his right knee. A little bit of a melee as he managed to grasp the ball to his chest. Just twisted awkwardly. You can see he's got some tape on the back of that leg anyway. So clearly he's not 100% fit. Real mass of legs and all sorts, and just getting his foot trapped in the sand a little bit perhaps. A little bit of a twisted knee. Treatment required. So Egypt still in the ascendancy, only just. El Hosseini's goal in the first minute, separating the two teams. We had 179 goals in this tournament 12 months ago. I wonder how many we're going to have this time. On average, just over 8 goals a game in beach soccer. There's an attempt on goal roughly every 30 seconds. And on the opening day 12 months ago, we had 45 goals. That's the most ever for a single day in this tournament. Abdulaziz Saba goes long. Picks out Mohamed Abdul Nabi, who goes for the overhead. Blocked by the back of Antonio. Brazil in this tournament 12 months ago, I mentioned they really were outstanding. 39 goals and only 9 conceded. They beat the UAE, the hosts, 11-1 on the opening day. And they beat Poland 5-2, and that's just wide. Flying effort from Datina. And qualified for the semi-finals by thrashing Tahiti 10-4. Now Tahiti are one of the outstanding beach soccer sides in the world, so that was a message to the rest of the teams in this tournament. In the semi-final then, Brazil overcame Russia 7-0, the first time Russia had been shut out in the history of this tournament. They've played 30 games in this tournament in total. They've never been shut out apart from on that occasion. 7-0 to Brazil in the semi-final. And in the final, Brazil beat Iran, the 2013 champions here, by 6-2. So Brazil have won this tournament twice, 2014 and 2016. Russia have won it 3 times, and Iran have won it once. Brazil, the defending champions. Music pumping out, great entertainment for the crowds. And that's a free kick to Brazil for a high foot. Bruno Xavier is down. The man committing the foul, Mohamed Gamal. Almost run out of superlatives for Bruno Xavier. He's getting ready to take this free kick, which is just fractionally inside the Brazilian half. Now what that means is that players are allowed to be goal side of the ball, but they have to fan out in what's known as the cone between the ball and the opposite corner flags. So in other words, Bruno Xavier gets a clear line of sight here to Zizou's goal, Abdulaziz Saba. Length of a beach soccer pitch is roughly 36 metres, so I'd say he's about 19 metres from goal, not quite central. Bruno Xavier, top scorer in this tournament 12 months ago with 8 goals. Can he open his account here? Yes, he can! Brazil are level. Bruno Xavier strikes. And if you ever want an example of how to hit a shot from distance in beach soccer, that's a pretty good case in point. Keeping your shot low. And the reason you keep your shot low is because it can misbehave off the sand. Mao saw that to his cost a little earlier when El Hosseini scored, and now Bruno Xavier has taken advantage of the uneven surface. Nothing that Abdulaziz Saba could do about that. So Bruno Xavier on the board. Oh, it's off the post from the restart. Hassan Mohamed. Mao was beaten, but the upright saved him. Incidentally, that goal for Bruno Xavier, his 30th in the history of the Huawei Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup. And he's second only to Dejan Stankovic of Switzerland in terms of goals scored in the history of this tournament. Stankovic top of the pile, only played in 3 editions. The Swiss bomber, 37 goals. And now, Bruno Xavier out on his own in second place. He's just moved ahead of the Russian star Dmitry Shishin. Shishin on 29, Bruno Xavier on 30, Stankovic on 37. Great save. Abdulaziz Saba fisting that one away. Bokina with the power strike. Well, you'd say Brazil have been on the offensive to a greater degree than Egypt in this first period. Form would suggest that would be the case even before a ball was kicked, you would say. But Egypt have certainly shown their high-quality battling skills and no little talent as well in this opening period, which has got just less than 2 minutes to run. Oh, that's well done. Nicked away by El Hosseini, who attempts the shot. Rodrigo gets the block in, and then blood and thunder tackles. Rodrigo wins the ball. Lucas across, and it's over the top from Felipe. Couldn't get over the top of the ball. Couldn't direct his shot down. Just having two balls on the sand very briefly. What are the options up the sand for Abdelaziz Saba? Mohamed Gamal. Back to Mustafa Ahmed. He was closed down quick smart by Lucas on that occasion. Now on this near side, just below our commentary position, Bokina. 6 goals in this tournament 12 months ago. Oh, lovely skill, ghosting away from Mohamed Gamal. Attempted shot from Lukau is blocked. Rodrigo, he seems to be all over the sand at the moment. Oh, and a free kick's been given. Ahmed El Shahat not happy with the decision, but the referee was right on the spot. Just outside the penalty area, Rodrigo going down. And despite the protests from Egypt, they're not going to get any change from the official on that far side. And Rodrigo's going to have the opportunity from about 10 metres out. A little bit of an angle to give Brazil the lead for the first time, because the free kick is inside the Egyptian half. All the players have to be behind the ball, apart from Abdelaziz Saba. Oh, and that's a disappointing effort in the end from Rodrigo. Brazil's joint top scorer at this year's FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup, with 8 goals alongside Morosinho and Diogo Cartarino. But wasn't with finishing like that, I can tell you. The referee just having a quiet word there with Abdelaziz Saba. I suspect just suggesting he gets on with the game a little bit. He bowled that one long, too long in fact, for Mohamed Abdel Nabi. Chipped forward, looking for Lucas. Cut out by Mustafa Ahmed. And again, Mustafa Ahmed, good defensive header from him. And a shot just over the top from Bokina, and that's the end of the first period. The first period that's seen no shortage of action, and 2 goals as well. Here's the last action of that first 12 minutes. And at the end of the opening period of the Huawei Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup for 2017, here at the Marassi Business Bay, it's Brazil 1, Egypt 1. Let's have a look at some highlights from what we've seen so far. Handshakes all round first up. And there's the opening goal. Awkward for Mao, the ball bobbled. You'll feel perhaps he should have done better. That was El Hosseini in the first minute. A flying effort soon afterwards from Rodrigo, just over the top. And that was Bruno Xavier, bringing Brazil level on 8 minutes after he was fouled just inside his own half. 1-1 then.
There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Once again, they're very beautiful. These soccer dancers. Stagger period coming up, people. We're still live right here in the Rossi Drama Business Bay for your 2017 Huawei Intercontinental Cup. Organized by the Dubai Sports Council and Beach Soccer Worldwide.
Getting ready then for period number 2 in this Huawei Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup 2017. The opening match of the day. It's Brazil against Egypt. All locked up at the moment, one apiece. Egypt taking the lead through El Husseini in the first minute and Bruno Xavier levelling things up after 8 minutes. 2 players over the ball for Egypt. Hassan Mohammed, number 2, and El Husseini, the goal scorer, number 7.
All right, here we go.
El Husseini with his feet taped there. You're allowed to have your feet taped. But you mustn't wear anything which will enhance your ability to strike the ball. Striking the ball on that occasion was Haitham Mohammed. His effort was deflected behind, and so the first corner of the second period will go to Egypt, to be taken by Hassan Mohammed. Powerful header coming in from Mustafa Ali, but Mao gobbles that one up, as you'd expect from a top keeper like Mao. Top goalkeeper, in fact, in the first and fourth editions of this Intercontinental Cup. That was 2011 and 2014. Ball staying in there, and Antonio can bring it forward. Antonio preferred to Diogo Catarino from the World Cup winning squad this year. Antonio making his debut this year, actually. Celebrated his 22nd birthday on the 2nd of this month. Bruno Xavier. All good skill, but in the end, Morosino getting the ball stuck in under his feet in the sand. Concedes the free kick. Not allowed to hide the ball in your legs, and the referee decided that's what he was doing. So a free kick to Egypt. It's inside their penalty area, roughly about 32 metres from Mao's goal. Length of beach soccer pitch about 36 metres, the width about 27 metres, and the depth of the penalty area, marked by the yellow flags on either side of the pitch, is 9 metres, and that was a serious effort from that sort of distance by Hassan Mohammed. Mao had to be alert, and he tipped it over for another Egyptian corner. 1-1 then. Headed clear by Morosino. Incidentally, you can tweet us using the hashtag Huawei Intercontinental Cup. Huawei Intercontinental Cup, all one word. Let us know where you're watching. If you've got any questions as well about the sport of beach soccer, perhaps it's the first time you've viewed this particular sport. Or if you're a regular, give us a shout as well. If you've got any questions at all, we'll do our best to answer them. So use the hashtag Huawei Intercontinental Cup. There's a few photos and other things already on that hashtag, so why not have a look as well? Get in touch, give us a shout, and we'll give you a shout. Bruno Xavier gets the ball back and drills it in. Just about scrambled away by Egypt. Bruno Xavier then wins the ball back. Great skill from him. Datina. Forward to Morosino. Again, tremendous skill. Datina. Bruno Xavier. Oh, fantastic Datina, yes! Oh, goodness me. It's only the 3rd goal of the tournament, but that's going to be up there over the course of the 5 days for one of the very best. Have a look at this for skill. He's an excitement machine, Datina, and he's shown it again there. Wonderful, flicking the ball over the defender, getting away from Mustafa Ali, flicking the ball with his right foot, and then perfect balance to drill home the shot with his left. Abdelaziz Saba got his hands to it, but he couldn't keep it out. Such was the power of Datina's shot. Oh, that really was breathtaking stuff. An illustration in a nutshell of how good these Brazilians are, and straight from the restart, Mohamed Gamal with the shot that smashes the crossbar. Goodness me, the goal rattled, but it stayed out. Felipe might even have got a little touch on it. And then at the other end, Very nearly Rodrigo making it 3-1. That's beach soccer. It really is. At one end almost 2-2, and then at the other end almost 3-1. Excitement, entertainment, you've got it. And more treatment required for Abdulaziz Sabah after that save. Ahmed Mohamed, Abdul Razak Mohamed looks on from the sidelines, the Egyptian coach. He'd be pretty pleased with what he's seen from his players so far. But what he'll also know is that they really have covered virtually every grain of sand on this pitch already. And if they're going to be able to maintain that pace that they've produced so far, then that will be an exceptional effort from them. Abdulaziz Sabah, not for the first time, getting some treatment and having to take his goalkeeping gloves off in order to receive that treatment. Just strapping those gloves back on now. 3 more matches for you after this one. This is a Group A match. Also in Group A then, coming up, it's the hosts, the UAE, against Portugal, the 2015 World Champions. Twice world champions, in fact. They also won the title in 2001. And then we've got the Group B matches bringing up the rear today. Russia, 3 times champions, up against Mexico, and Iran, the 2013 champions, facing tournament newcomers Paraguay. So plenty of entertainment for you in this Huawei Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup 2017. So I've mentioned already, new sponsors, new venue, the same quality of beach soccer. Lucas across the sand. Won in the end by Lucas Lukau, in fact, across the sand, and Lucas smashing that ball into the frame of the goal. Goodness me. Brought under control by Mohamed Abdul Nabi. The overhead from him, poured away by Mao. Such a strong hand, that. Batting the ball 30 metres to his opposite number. Abdulaziz Sabah throws that ball out to Mustafa Ahmed. Oh, he's done well. In the end, the ball gets stuck in the sand as he attempted to find Mohamed Abdul Nabi. Lucas with the throw, finds Felipe. Lucas able to fashion a shot and score. Well, it all looked a bit soft, but again, that's the value of keeping your shots low. An awkward one for Abdulaziz Sabah, and a little bit of afters as well from a few of the players. I think Abdulaziz Sabah will feel he should have done better there. He didn't, and so Brazil are 3-1 up. Little bit of an awkward bounce just in front of him, and despite the best efforts of Ahmed Shahat, he couldn't keep it out. So we're not even halfway through this match. Still 7.5 minutes to go in the second of 3 periods, and Brazil, well, they're looking ominous now, aren't they? 3-1. Off the line by Felipe. It's the second time he's been effective in that role in this period. With a little flick header onto the restart at the beginning of period number 2, onto the crossbar. So Egypt still asking questions of this Brazilian side. You always feel as though Brazil have got another gear to go to. Felipe. Bursting forward is El Hosseini, the man who opened the scoring. It seems a long time ago now, doesn't it? Cushioned back to his keeper by Felipe. Bokina on this near side, below our commentary position. Rodrigo. Bokina. Oh, the overhead from Rodrigo. Straight at Abdulaziz Sabah, though. Keep your tweets coming in. Huawei Intercontinental Cup, all one word. Give us a shout and we'll give you a shout. Plenty of action at that hashtag already. Huawei Intercontinental Cup is the hashtag you need. Felipe. Rear sortie up the pitch for him. He's been sitting at the heart of the defence for much of the match so far. Rodrigo jinking one way then the other, trying to get past Hassan Mohammed, who's done well. Getting his body between the attacker and the ball, then fashioning some sort of clearance. El Hosseini, well, he went down in instalments there. I rather fancied he went down or started to go down before Datina got his challenge in. But Datina gets a booking for his trouble. First booking of this Huawei Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup. Then let's have a look at it now. It was a clumsy challenge. And the referee was right on the spot there. Not happy with it to the extent that the card has been brandished. So a free kick to Egypt, just fractionally inside the Brazilian half. That's 17.5 metres from goal on an angle. What it means, of course, being inside the Brazilian half, is that all the players have to be behind the ball. Not much of a run-up for El Hosseini, but he still packed a punch with that shot. And a good save from Mao. Good strong hand again from the top stopper. Corner again to Egypt. Towards the near post, and again, very strong hands from Mao. Right hand on this occasion, fisting the ball away as far as halfway. Brazil, wonderfully skillful, but also very, very effective in terms of closing opposition players down. You get very little time on the ball. Oh, but when you do get time on the ball, you can produce a goal like that. Mohamed Abdul Nabi, what a strike. Egypt are back in it. 3-2. Fantastic. Well, we've seen a couple of stunners already, haven't we? How about that? Mao wasn't stopping that one. Exceptional overhead from the Egyptian number 10. 3 goals in this tournament 12 months ago. And producing the goods once again there. 3-2 then. Egypt pull a goal back. And we've still got 5 minutes to go in this second period. Well, wonderful entertainment already. The goals flowing. That was terrific. That's what beach soccer's all about, skill like that. Egypt giving clear notice they're not going to roll over and go quietly into the night, even though they're playing against the 14 times world champions. Well, that was a clumsy challenge perhaps from Antonio. He gets away with it against his fellow number 3, Mohamed Gamal, who now gets possession. Oh, but the ball got stuck in the sand just when there was a 2-against-1 situation, and at the other end, Datina scores. That's how quickly things can change. Bruno Xavier was provider, and Datina at the back post with a little flick header for his second. Egypt would have had visions of making it 3 apiece when Mohamed Gamal was through on goal, but now it's 4-2. Perfect cross from Bruno Xavier. And Datina, he wasn't going to miss there, was he? 4-2. Well, what's the saying? Start as you mean to go on. Let's hope that's exactly what we're doing here with this Huawei Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup 2017. Already 6 goals. And still a full period to go after this one, this opening match. Mao's been busy enough in the Brazilian goal. It's certainly not been one-way traffic. Bowls the ball long to Bruno Xavier. Lovely cushioned header. And Tina, well, he was within an absolute whisker of his hat-trick. Just couldn't get the shot to his liking. Ball was just behind him in the end. Oh, that's a nice turn from Mohamed Gamal. Bowled long by Mao. Bruno Xavier now. That's Morosino with the dainty touch. Bruno Xavier once more. Mentioned that Brazil have won this, won the FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup 14 times, but their reputation counts for nothing there. Mohamed Gamal, he was frustrated a short while ago when the ball stuck in the sand, but give him an opportunity in front of goal and he'll take it invariably. Slotting that ball home beautifully. Look at the frustration from Datina. Got there ahead of two Brazilian defenders and just pushed the ball past Mao's right hand. Lovely finish. Mohamed Gamal, 9 goals in this tournament 2 years ago, the tournament top scorer on that occasion, and he's on the board once more now. Well, the action goes on and on here, doesn't it? 5 goals already in this second period, both sides going hell for leather at each other and providing wonderful entertainment. 4-3 then. And Egypt still clinging to Brazil's coattails. Felipe, 2 defenders for company. Not a wild shot in the end from El Hosseini.
Good catch. Any fall down? Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. We've just had a shot on our monitor of the Egyptian coach up in the stands, and I can only assume he's been sent off. Something that obviously happened off the ball, but the coach has been sent to the stands. That's Ahmed Mohamed, Abdul Razak Mohamed. So that's where he'll have to be tomorrow as well. So frustration getting the better of him. I suspect it had something to do with the foul involving Bokina a little while ago. Oh, that's off the post. Header at the back post from Lucas. And possibly the foul involving Datina, maybe. Datina went down quite easily, not far away from the bench. Anyway, it appears that Ahmed Mohamed Abdul Razak Mohamed has said something which the match officials weren't too keen on, so he's now watching the action from the sidelines behind the goal as opposed to on the bench. Just under 2 minutes to go, and Abdulaziz Saba having to get rid of the ball and get rid of it in a hurry. The goalkeepers are only allowed to be in control of the ball for a maximum of 4 seconds. Any longer than that and they concede a free kick on the halfway line. Drilled in, oh, good save. Abdulaziz Saba getting down low to his right to push that one from Felipe round the post. It's a wonderful strike and an equally good save. Oh, and another tremendous save. Real power in that shot from Lucas. And Abdulaziz Saba getting 2 strong hands to it. Mohamed Gamal. Felipe nicks the ball off him. Just a minute to go in this second period. Got to give credit to Egypt here. Their work rate has been tremendous in this match so far. Question is, can they maintain it in the last 12 minutes? They'll have to if they're to stay anywhere near this Brazilian side, whose unbeaten run is on the line. 42 matches since they last tasted defeat. Possession conceded by Egypt. Rodrigo. 20 seconds remaining in this second period. Mohamed Gamal trying to shoot on the turn, not able to do so. Is there time for another goal before the interval? Shot coming in from Rodrigo. Oh, just wide. Real power from Lucas, but not the direction he wanted. And that is indeed the end of period number 2 on this opening day in the opening match of the Huawei Intercontinental Cup 2017. And you can see how much the effort is taken out of the Egyptian boys to stay with Brazil. But stay with them they have. Brazil, 2 goals from Datina, Bruno Xavier and Lucas on the board as well. Egypt, El Hosseini, Mohamed Abdel Nabi and Mohamed Gamal, their scorers. It's Brazil 4, Egypt 3. Let's have a look at some highlights of the second period. There's Datina's wonder strike to give Brazil the lead for the first time, flicking the ball up with his right foot and hammering it home with his left. Mao, he was busy enough in the Brazilian goal. And there was Lucas's strike, slightly soft concession, you'd say, by Egypt on that occasion. But then how about that for a hit from Mohamed Abdel Nabi? Wonderful overhead. No chance for Mao, and that was 3-2. And Datina, his second, beautiful goal. It was Mao to Bruno Xavier to Datina for 4-2, and then Mohamed Gamal, literally a minute later, made it 4-3. And that was the first of a couple of terrific saves in quick succession by Abdelaziz Saba. All still to play for then. Brazil 4, Egypt 3.
Once again, thank you very much, all very beautiful beach soccer dancers. Fans of Egypt, where are you guys at? We got a couple of watching. Coming up next is our third and final period. Last 12 minutes of the first game of your 2017 Huawei Intercontinental Cup.
In case you're wondering what's going on there, if you're new to the sport, of course we have an odd number of periods in beach soccer, so consequently, to decide who kicks us off in the third and final period, we have to have another toss of the coin. 2 captains involved there. So it's going to be Egypt who'll get us underway. Change of goalkeeper for the Egyptians in this third and final period. Mohamed Kadri, late call-up for the squad. Only made his debut in the national side this year. Coming on for the third and final period in place of Abdelaziz Saba. Well, I thought he was actually. He's swapped over. They've made a decision to keep Abdelaziz Saba in goal for the start of this third and final period. I think Mohamed Kadri was expecting to start, but a change of heart on the bench, and so Abdelaziz Saba retains his position. Bruno Xavier did well to retain possession despite the attentions of Haitham Mohamed. El Hosseini robbed by Datina, who's on a hat-trick of course. Rodrigo. Morosino, the cushioned header back to Rodrigo. Good tackle. Very good tackle indeed by Haitham Mohamed. And again, I'll mention it, the Egyptians will need to keep up this exceptional work rate they've shown in the first 2 periods if they're to live with Brazil in period number 3. And that's not going to be easy. Hottest part of the day in terms of this Huawei Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup. Only gets cooler from now. And they really have had to slog it out on the sand. Oh, what a strike! Out of absolutely nothing. Bruno Xavier from distance. His second, Brazil's fifth, the 2-goal cushion restored. Abdelaziz Saba, he was stunned there by the power and accuracy of that shot from distance. What a volley with his right foot. Look at that, bang! And all Abdelaziz Saba could do is just watch it. I wonder if he thought it was going over, but it dipped wickedly at the last minute and nestled in the back of the net, having hit the roof. Bruno Xavier, he's done it again. He's an absolute master practitioner. He really is. And that's why he's one of the greatest players this sport has to offer. Well, one of the reasons why, anyway. Here come Brazil again. Tatina gives the ball to Rodrigo, who's still going and scores. Oh, Brazil, they've put their foot on the accelerator now, haven't they? Less than 2 minutes gone in this third and final period. I'd mentioned already that it was going to be tough for Egypt to stick with Brazil as this match wore on, and well, that prophecy seems to be coming true. Just wrapping his left foot round that, and sheer power again. And even though there was a man on the line, there was no chance of keeping it out. I think it was Haitham Mohamed who tried to get something in the way of the ball and wasn't able to do so. So Brazil just flexing their muscles now. Can Egypt just rein them back? Timeout called by the match official. There was some foreign object had just fallen onto the sand. Incidentally, if you're new to the sport and you're wondering, a pitch like this requires something like 300 tons of sand. Very fine, high-quality sand as well. And fine, high-quality beach soccer from Brazil. Rodrigo with the shot, and Abdelaziz Saba, who's going to sleep well tonight, I would fancy, the Egyptian goalkeeper, making the save. Rodrigo. It's one-way traffic over the last minute or so. In fact, throughout much of this period thus far. Mustafa Ahmed tangling with Bruno Xavier, and that's going to be a booking. Yeah, it's a bit cynical that. From this distance, it looked as though he just lifted his legs up to catch Bruno Xavier as he was attempting to race away on goal. So we're booking a piece now. Mustafa Ahmed not too impressed with the decision, but I think if he sees the vision that we saw, he couldn't have too many complaints about that. So Burkina booked in the second period for Brazil, and now Mustafa Ahmed in period number 3. Let's have another look at it here now. Didn't really show you that angle. Let's see if this angle shows us a little bit better. We'll come back to that perhaps. A free kick from Bruno Xavier. Low bobbling effort. Remember, he's on a hat-trick, as is Tatina. Oh, the overhead and frustration from El Hosseini. Had the opportunity there to get that one on target and failed. Ball bowled long. Morcinho picks the ball up again. Dispossessed by 2 Egyptian players. El Hosseini is one of them. Morcinho again. Burkina to Bruno Xavier. Burkina continues his run on the far side, brings it under control. Oh, lovely skill again, and the volley. But The accuracy of that shot didn't match the setup play, which was exceptional. Bowled long by Abdulaziz Sabat. Down goes Bokina, no free kick. Mustafa Ali. El Hosseini. Just under 7.5 minutes to go. And we've got the second of the 4 matches for you today. Portugal against the UAE. Well, Haitham Mohamed felt he was fouled there. The referee didn't share that opinion. Tina's shot is blocked. Bruno Xavier, good defensive work from him. In the end, he's hustled out of the ball though by Hassan Mohamed. Clumsy shot from the Egyptian number 2. Music pumping out, the crowd growing. New venue, as I mentioned. Previous 4 editions of this tournament at the Dubai International Marine Club. Oh, good save, low to his right by Abdulaziz Sabat. Bruno Xavier again, it almost doesn't need to be said. That was going in, it really was, and good strong hand from Zizou to make the stop. It's the previous 4 editions at Dubai International Marine Club. Edition number 2 of this tournament back in 2012. That was at Dubai Festival City, quite close to Dubai International Airport. And the first edition back in 2011 was at JBR, Jumeirah Beach Residence, The Walk, which isn't actually there anymore. It's been developed quite splendidly. It's about a 15 or 20 minute drive south from here. Not far actually from the Dubai International Marine Club, just really a stone's throw from there. But here we are at the Marassi Business Bay. A 15-minute drive south of Dubai International Airport. 5.5 minutes to go in this 3rd and final period. Egypt in this tournament 12 months ago. I mentioned already earlier in this match that they lost 10-6 on the opening day to Russia, and then they lost 4-1 to Iran, so they had it pretty tough first up against 2 former champions. In fact, in Russia's case, the defending champion. Here's a goal, yes, another one for Brazil. Bokina. Easy as you like. They were queuing up for that one, weren't they? 7-3 now. Provider on this occasion was Rodrigo. Look at that, 2 players could have tapped that one in. Felipe was one of them, but Bokina got there first and straight into an empty net. And this is the value that Brazil have as well. They've got goals from all over the sand. Bruno Xavier, Datina, Lucas, Rodrigo, Bokina. 5 different scorers in this match already for Brazil. Just coming back to what I was saying about Egypt 12 months ago. 10-6 loss to Russia and a 4-1 loss to Iran to start proceedings, but then they rallied. 5-3 they beat the USA, 7-3 they beat the hosts, the UAE, and then they won on penalties. 2-0 on penalties after it finished 3-3 after extra time against Poland. Sorry, they lost 2-0 on penalties after it finished 3-3, so they finished 6th 12 months ago. What can they expect now, I wonder? Well, it's a clattering challenge from Mohamed Gamal on Rodrigo. He'll be lucky to escape a booking there, I rather fancy. Offering his hand to lift Rodrigo up, but Rodrigo wasn't all that keen to get up, I have to say, and you can understand why after that. uncompromising from Mohamed Gamal. That's the best way to describe it, I think. And you can see Mao's gone for a sit down. So a change in goal for Brazil. Rafa Padilla replaces Mao, 24-year-old. Made his debut for the national team back in 2015. A goal! Another goal for Brazil, number 8. And it's Rodrigo, a second for him. And those nails are getting well and truly hammered into the Egyptian coffin here with just over 4 minutes to go. What a strike that was. Abdelaziz Saba is copping some punishment now in the Egyptian goal. Doesn't really deserve that because he's made some exceptional saves today. They're going to make a change, actually, Egypt. Indeed they are. I thought Mohamed Kadri was going to come on and take his place in goal at the start of this third period, but now he's done so for real. Just over 4 minutes on the sand for him. That's well gathered by Rafa Padilla. Felipe, good turn, looking for the overhead. And in the end, that's a good save from the goalkeeper, Mohamed Kadri. He's got his fingertips to that to push it over the top. That'll be a corner. Headed clear by Mustafa Ahmed. Gosh, it's been a tough assignment this for Egypt. First up to be facing 14 times world champions. Only 4 sides have won the world title at beach soccer since the first edition in 1995. Brazil have won it 14 times. Portugal have won it twice, so have Russia. And another goal, France, the other winners of the World Cup, but Rodrigo completes his hat-trick. That's 9-3. And they really are struggling now, aren't they, Egypt? Something of a procession, little give and go from Rodrigo. And he got the ball back and popped it into the back of the net, easy as you like. That's the 9th hat-trick in the history of the Samsung, or as was, and now Huawei Intercontinental Cup. Andre scored 1 in 2011. Fernando Dede scored 2 in 2012. Bruno Xavier, he's got 4 to his name over the course of 3 editions. And Diogo Catarino, he's got the other one. So 9 for Brazil. Oh, good double save from Mohamed Kadri. Most hat-tricks, by the way, by his side in the Huawei Intercontinental Cup. Russia, they've done it 10 times, spread among 5 players. Good save. Just over 2 minutes to go then. 12 goals in this opening encounter. Wonderful stuff. If we keep up this sort of rate, we might even better the opening day tally of 12 months ago. Another goal. This time it's Lucas. Goodness me. Not a cloud in the sky, but it's raining goals here in Dubai. And there's a happy man. Gilberto da Costa de Souza, the Brazilian coach. He'll be absolutely ecstatic at the way his team have gone about their business here. Second for Lucas then. And I'm sure from an Egyptian point of view, the end of this match can't come soon enough. Reminder, next up, Portugal against the UAE, then it's Russia against Mexico and Iran against Paraguay. The opening matches for you in this tournament. Well, down goes Haitham Mohamed, no penalty awarded. And then Hassan Mohamed can't keep that in play. Scoreline, you'd have to say, a little bit unfair on Egypt. Certainly been full of endeavour, but in this last period, well, Brazil have just run all over them. 6 unanswered goals. Make that 7 by number 7, Burkina.
Goal number 11.
11-3 now, Burkina's second. And, well, Mao and Gilberto da Costa de Souza allow themselves a little bit of a smile on the sidelines. It was well done by Antonio to flick the ball back in play. And Burkina, very good finish indeed. Easy enough, in the right place at the right time. And you won't get much easier goals than that in his career, you wouldn't have thought. Is there a consolation for Egypt, though? Oh, goodness me, there should have been. Mohamed Abdel Nabi, frustration for him. Maybe the ball just bobbled in the sand at an inopportune moment. That really should have been 11-4. Into the last 20 seconds then. And it's been a masterclass from Brazil, hasn't it? They got 11 on the opening day 12 months ago when they beat the UAE 11-1. Another 11 now. 11-3 this time against Egypt. Is there time for a 12th? No, there isn't. But that really is an exceptional performance from the world champions. 11 goals, 7 unanswered in the last period of 12 minutes. Brazil showing they want this title for the 3rd time. They want to defend their crown. 2 goals for Burkina, 2 for Lucas, 3 for Rodrigo. Bruno Xavier with a brace as well.